Level 1. The Associate. You're 17 years old, standing on a street corner in Bensonhurst, watching a man in a tracksuit count cash through a car window. He doesn't look at you. Not yet. You've been running small errands for his crew since you were 14, holding a bag here, watching a corner there, never asking what's inside or why. Your father drives a city bus. He has no idea where you are right now. You tell your mother you're at a friend's house. You've told her that for 3 years. Tonight, the man in the tracksuit finally looks at you. He says 2 words. You're ready. You don't know yet what you just agreed to. You start small, collecting envelopes from restaurants and construction sites along the avenue. The owners hand them over without making eye contact. You don't count what's inside. You deliver it and you leave. You're paid in cash at the end of the week, more than your father makes in 2. You tell yourself this is temporary. You tell yourself a lot of things at 17.
Level 2. The Soldier. You've been made. Not officially. You're not Italian enough on your father's side for that. But inside the crew, you are recognized. You have a role now. You collect debts. You stand outside card games at 2 a.m. to make sure nobody gets ideas.
You are muscle. You are presence. And you are the reason a man pays what he owes on time. Your first real job goes wrong. A restaurant owner in Canarsie stops paying. Your crew boss tells you to deliver a message. You do. Afterwards, you sit in your car for a long time. Your hands are steady.
That surprises you. You thought they would shake. The fact that they don't tells you something about yourself that you will spend the rest of your life thinking about.
Level 3. The Made Man. You are 26 years old. They bring you into a room above a social club on a Tuesday night. Candles, a table, a boss you have only seen twice before. There is a ritual. You prick your finger. A playing card burns in your hand. You repeat words in a language you don't fully speak. When it's over, you are untouchable. In theory, no one in any family in the country can move against you without permission from above. You belong to something now that is older than the city you were born in. You feel the weight of that the moment the door closes. You will feel it every day for the rest of your life. You have a crew beneath you now. Young guys who look at you the way you used to look at the man in the tracksuit. You run numbers. You run loan shark operations out of a barbershop on 86th Street. The money is real. The risk is real. The FBI has a van parked 2 blocks away, 3 days a week. You know which days, because you have a contact inside a federal building who hands information to a lawyer, who hands it to your boss, who hands it to you. Everyone is connected. Everyone is paid. That is the system. That is how it stays standing. Level 4. The Earner. This is the rank they don't explain to you. It's not a title, it's a reputation. You earn more than anyone else in your crew. Your boss gets 30% of everything you make. You generate enough that his bosses know your name without ever having met you. Being an earner means you have value. It also means you have a target. Men with value attract men who want to take it. You expand. Construction kickbacks, union contracts, a garbage hauling company that somehow wins every city bid in 3 boroughs. You learn that legitimate business is just illegitimate business with better paperwork. You have a wife now, a house on Staten Island, 2 kids in Catholic school. On Sunday mornings, you sit in the 3rd pew from the front and you listen to a priest talk about judgment, and you do not feel what you think you should feel. Level 5. The Capo. You run your own crew, 12 men who answer to you, who earn for you, who you are responsible for when things go wrong. And things go wrong. One of your guys gets arrested on a gun charge and decides that talking to a prosecutor is easier than doing 8 years. You find out on a Wednesday. By Friday, it is handled. You don't ask how. The Capo never asks how. The Capo only asks whether it's done. Your boss calls you into a sit-down once a month. You lay out your numbers. He nods. You are producing. You are protected. But the hierarchy above you is shifting. An underboss got pinched on a RICO charge and is looking at 25 years. There are 2 men who want his chair. You have to choose a side without anyone knowing you chose. This is the real skill at this level. Not violence, not money. Reading a room without letting the room read you. Level 6. The Consigliere. You didn't expect this. You were never the most ambitious man in the family, but the boss trusts you. Not because you are the most dangerous, but because you've never lied to him. In an organization built entirely on lies, That makes you invaluable. Your job is counsel.
You sit beside the boss at every meeting. You tell him what you actually think, not what he wants to hear. That is rarer than it sounds. Men who want to be liked tell the boss what he wants to hear. You tell him the truth and let him hate you for it. He never does. The ones who only hear what they want to hear end up making the decision that ends everything. You mediate disputes between capos. You authorize exceptions to rules. You are the brake system of an organization that would otherwise destroy itself. The FBI doesn't fully understand your role. They think power means violence. Real power means being the man everyone calls before the violence starts. Level 7. The Underboss. You are second. One man above you, everyone else below. The distance between you and the top is so small, you can feel it in the way people stand when you walk in. They stood up for the boss before. Now they stand up for you too. Not out of love, out of math. You are one phone call away from being the boss. Everyone in the room is calculating what that means for them. You manage the day-to-day, so the boss doesn't have to. You are the one who gets called at 3 a.m. when a shipment is missing, or a capo is acting unpredictably. You handle it so the boss only hears the solution, never the problem. You have not slept a full night in 4 years. Your doctor tells you your blood pressure is going to kill you before anyone else does. You think that's almost funny. Level 8. The Boss. The man who held the seat for 19 years died of a stroke in a hospital in Queens. You were in the room. By the time the doctors came in, the decision had already been made by the men standing around the bed. You didn't campaign for it. You didn't ask. You were simply the one everyone looked at. That is how power actually transfers at this level. Not ceremony, not election, just a room full of men who already know. You now run one of the 5 families that have controlled this city for 70 years. Decisions about territories, about tribute, about who lives and who doesn't. They all pass through you. You meet with bosses from other cities twice a year, in a house in Connecticut. No phones in the building. The decisions made in that room affect thousands of people who will never know your name. That anonymity is not a failure. It is the whole point. You have survived because you are patient. Every boss who fell before you fell because they moved too fast, too greedy, too loud, too visible. You have been invisible for 30 years. Invisibility is the only real armor this life offers. Level 9. The Boss Under Siege. The indictment comes on a Thursday morning, 42 counts. RICO. 3 former members who turned witness. Men you broke bread with. Men who kissed your cheek at Christmas. One of them wore a wire for 11 months. You had dinner with him 7 times during those 11 months. You have replayed every conversation. You cannot find the moment. That is the thing about betrayal at this level. It is invisible until it isn't. Your lawyer is the best in the country. He costs $900 an hour, and he is honest with you in the way that only a man you're paying that much can afford to be. He tells you the evidence is significant. He tells you the witnesses are credible. He tells you your options. You listen. You have run out of moves, and you know it. The trial lasts 6 weeks. You are convicted on 19 counts. The judge sentences you to 22 years. You are 61 years old. You do the math in the car on the way to the facility. You stop doing the math before you arrive. Level 10. The Ghost. You have been inside for 11 years. You will be 72 when you get out, if you get out. Your wife visits on the first Sunday of every month. She brings food you are not allowed to eat, and news from a world that has moved on without you. The men who ran your organization after your arrest are mostly gone too. Dead?
Imprisoned. Flipped. The family has contracted. The neighborhoods you controlled have been gentrified beyond recognition. The social clubs are juice bars now. You sit in a common room and you think about the man in the tracksuit counting money through a car window. You think about the boy who watched him. You think about the moment the man finally looked up and said 2 words. You're ready. You weren't ready. No one is ever ready. Ready is just the word they use to open the door. Somewhere in Bensonhurst, right now, a 17-year-old is standing on a corner. He's watching. He's waiting. Someone is going to look at him soon and say 2 words. He thinks it's the beginning of something. He doesn't know yet that it's the end of everything he has. He'll figure it out. They always do. The system continues.